All right, so definitely want to do this video. I guess this will be sort of a format slash meta type review or analysis. Don't know what I'm going to title the video. From my time playing today at the Sanctum in Racine, where I live. There wasn't a tournament. It was more casual play. Um, I can't speak for Saturday when I go to two different stores. I'm gonna do a report for each of them per se, to get a better feeling of what I think the format and meta is gonna look like. I may condense them into one video. We'll see. Um, so it wasn't actually a tournament today. It was casual play. However, I did get to play. I want to say at least 4 games. With the deck I was playing, which you're gonna see on the screen right now, Sabine Wren. Um, Not the showcase, but I was playing Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren on orange against the mirror match, which was Sabine Wren on green. I should say Sabine Wren on cunning, and then Sabine Wren. That's what I was playing versus Sabine Wren on command. Um, so it was still actually very important to get that analysis of the mirror match and the matchup. Because it's probably going to be a very common matchup moving forward in the format. I saw a couple other people playing other decks. Um, they definitely were not optimized, so I can't really speak to those builds. My build itself wasn't optimized, and neither was my opponent's fully. But I feel like ours were probably closer to being tournament ready, optimized builds of what Sabine Wren is eventually going to look like. Um, I had my side deck and stuff ready to go as well. Didn't use it. That being said, I won every game. There were a couple of games that were close. Um, but I'll get to more of that in a minute. I don't think Sabine Wren is the best leader in the format as of right now, but I do think she's definitely up there. The playtesting today definitely solidified that for me in my mind, how I view the format going forward. Um, I still think Boba Fett is a very scary threat. There's a lot of people right now who are on Han Solo. I think he has the potential to also be very good. Um, his leader ability, unironically, was a leader ability in a different game universes for another character who had almost the exact same ability, who could basically use his resources as cards in his hand, essentially. And he actually ended up getting banned in that game. Um, I can see Han Solo being that good, but you need a very good player with a very optimized build to make Han Solo broken to that level of good. I think he's just kind of good right now. I don't think he's broken good. I feel the same for Sabine Wren, because it's not even really her leader ability or anything. It's just the support she has. Um, Boba Fett, I feel like, is extremely strong, even though I didn't even play it. Didn't play it today. Haven't seen too many people playing it currently. Um, I do think there's a lot of very strong leaders. Um, but I do feel that red is definitely going to dominate the format. Just all the red cards are good. Um, Going back to the mirror matches games I played today, for Sabine Wren specifically, I think it's kind of I'm pretty sure most people already suspected it, but I think Sabine Wren on cunning and Sabine Wren on command are the two best colors for her, hands down. Um, I think double red is number 3, and blue is very distant. I don't think you're gonna see too many Jeskai, Vigilance, Sabine Wrens. Um, Green and orange are just way better for her. Um, as for the matchups, I want to say if it's optimized build versus optimized build between cunning and command, I almost want to say it's 50-50. It really comes down to a coin flip. Who goes first? Who has a better side deck? Those will be who has the better mirror match tech. Those will be the determining factors of who wins the matchup. Orange has a lot of cantrips that can just slow down the Sabine Wren deck just enough. Just even tapping down a unit is enough to keep you alive in the game. Sabine Wren on command has a lot of big boosts that they can throw at a unit to get more damage out there. Sabine Wren definitely wants to end the game before 5-6 resources. Absolutely, because every other deck, every other leader wants to drop their big bombs on 7 or on 6 or 7. Sabine Wren is killing you on 6, half the time at least, and she pretty much has you guaranteed dead by 7. So I think that whatever you're dropping on turn 6 or turn 7 has to be like a game-ending bomb card. It can't just be, you know, some little weenie unit. It has to be a big card. I also don't agree with a lot of the plays that I'm seeing right now where they're tapping out each turn just to play a big unit. I think that this game is going to head towards more small weenie units that are just swinging in early and often before they get blown up. Because with how the game is designed, your units are never safe. People are still playing it like Magic, treating it like Magic, where they try, you know, their creatures are sacred. They want to save them and protect them. You can't do that in this game. Anything can die on any given turn. And usually with either 1-for-1 removal or just trading. And because anything can trade with any unit can trade with any unit at any point in time, unless there's like a sentinel out or something, your units are just gonna die. So not trying to invest in a big unit that can get cantripped is a better play, or playing a bunch of small units. Or I should say, don't try to play a big unit, try to play smaller units. I noticed that in my mirror match games, I always had 4 to 5 units out, and they were just swinging in every single turn. I may do like a deck list or a profile at some point, but like I'm playing mostly 1 and 2 drops. There's 1 4-drop in my entire deck, and that is the highest drop in my deck. I'm not playing anything over a 4-drop, and that's General Doduna, or whatever his name is, the heroic unit that buffs all rebels. And even my I forget the name of this stupid guy, but that's why I brought up second tab. The 3-drop guy. This guy, Fighters for Freedom. I'm thinking about taking this card out because like I always resourced it and I never played it. I think my curve is 3. 4 is pushing it. Everything in my deck wants to be under a 3 cost. I don't even really play this guy. I think he's more relevant in the double red Sabine Wren. Because with my build, I don't play enough red units to reliably play this. I don't want to tap out for this on 3. Or even play it on turn 4. I don't even want to play it. I rather play 2 2-drops or 1-drops instead of playing this to hit the base for 1 damage if it's a red card. Because I can't guarantee I'm going to have the red card to play, or the red card is going to be a good card that I actually want to play. If that makes sense. So I'm probably going to cut this card. That being said, Rebels are broken. Rebels and probably Troopers, which this has both, unironically. Outside of Sabine Wren, so I still don't think she's the best. I think Rebels are just inherently good. Like, I think every leader who can play off red is going to be playing Rebels, and Rebels are just going to just get in there and just punish people who are only playing high drops or are trying to wait for like the turn 6, turn 7, turn 8 bomb are going to be getting destroyed by these weenie Rebels. Even on 3, this 3 Rebel is still just getting in there and hitting you. Saboteur is very good to get around Sentinels if they're playing that, so you can't even try to play defensively. A lot of people inherently try to play defensively because they're new, or their deck isn't optimized, or they're scared of everything. This just says you don't have a chance to play defense. I'm just killing you. The rebels are just so good. There's so many, and they're all low cost. I think with my Sabine Wren build, I stopped resourcing after 5 or 6. Never resourced beyond that because my opponent was usually dead after that. I had enough units that were still alive on board to just swing in and then deal damage. Now, I don't think he had bombing run, which is the 5 drop. I think that's a game changer. See if I can look that up real quick. Because if you're not trading units, you're playing board clearers like this. Oh no, never mind. It's on 5. You can get to 5, but it's still difficult. And it hits everything in the area. So that does leave counterplay for Sabine Wren to try to play a certain amount of space units who can still swing, as well as ground units. I think bombing run, it does 3. That's killing most of the units she's gonna play. Most of the rebels are capping out at 3 unless they have a Dodonna out, or the fighters for Freedom that I had pulled up earlier, who has 4 toughness, willpower, whatever they call it in this game. But if they have to play this on turn 5, they're tapping out for it. So if you have units in the other area, you're still getting damage in, and they are tapped out for the turn now. They're not doing anything else realistically. Only the units that survive, which probably will not be many, and you still have free reign. So there's a lot of tactical play and a lot of counter play to be learned and developed for this game. Even in set 1, there's a lot more than I initially thought there would be. Even going through the mirror match, like I feel against green, like having sentinel units just changes the entire matchup. Like if I have sentinel units, I think Sabine Wren on command just struggles really hard to get any damage in whatsoever, because I don't think green has any like removal based cantrips. It just has to like swing in and hope that it can get through what you have. Like they also need to have saboteurs to get past sentinel, but if they don't, they're just kind of stuck. Sabine Wren on Cunning still has the same issue, but they have access to Waylay that can be a 3-drop removal to just bounce a guy off the field, bounce a sentinel off. Asteroid Sanctuary, which is looks better and better each time I play it. That card definitely saved me, helped me win a couple of games, being able to tap down a guy that they buffed, or even Sabine Wren herself, the leader, if they brought it out because they had turn advantage, because they had the initiative. Tapping it down, putting a shield, which is basically every guy in my deck, since all my guys are 3 or less, except for Daduna. Putting a shield on so that way that guy can now trade with one of their guys to get rid of it, reduce their damage, keep my guy alive, so that way he can swing next turn if they don't have to play 1-for-1 removal to get rid of it. Even stuff like counterplay like that is just so good in this game. Shall pull up Asteroid Sanctuary. This card is extremely good. Same thing for Bamboozle. Very good card. It can also be potentially played for free if you have another Cunning to discard for it. Which in my deck I'm playing full sets of both because it's just too good to not play it. But I do feel the mirror match is very close. Double red, I think, where double red has the advantage and where it can be good is that you're relying heavily on either the aggression card, which is named after the aspect, which is this, but this is a 4-drop, and obviously you're pretty much gonna be in double red to play it. This to either ready up units or to ping kill a unit. And then the other double red card, which is rally. Nope, not the magic one, because magic has one, unfortunately. What is it for this one? Is it rally the troops in this game? Rallying cry. I just call it rally. The other guy's raid 2. I actually think this is better than the aggression card because it's on 3 instead of on 4. If you have 4 or 5 guys out, which is easily doable by the time you can play this, if you play a 1-drops and 2-drops, and then you drop a rallying cry, you might have game right there, giving all of them +2 if they can all swing in and not have to worry about a sentinel. Because you're effectively doubling your damage at that point, and that can just steal or seal a game just outright on its own. So like if the game goes to turn 5, all your units are still alive, you can double red has the advantage of being able to drop rallying cry and just swing for game potentially, but they still have to worry about sentinel units. And the problem with double red is that you lose the utility of the 3rd color, which also means you're going to lose a lot of cantrips, which means you're heavily relying on Saboteur to get past a sentinel. If they just drop a sentinel, now you have to swing into it. You're not really getting rid of it any other way. I don't think heroism has any form of removal to speak of, really. You're swinging into a unit to get rid of it, and you're losing damage. Obviously, if they were sentinel out, you're probably not playing the rallying cry if you're on double red, but that also means you're not killing your opponent. Which the goal is to kill your opponent as quickly as possible. Back to Sabine Wren. The fact that Sabine Wren exists and she is so fast and she can kill you like before turn 6 or 7 when people want to drop their big drops. She's very, even though she's not the best deck, she's going to skew the game towards her playstyle. People are going to very quickly realize that they can't sit and wait to have 7-8 resources to drop their big bomb cards, because they're going to be dead in the Sabine Wren matchup. Going to a tournament knowing people are going to play Sabine Wren, knowing that she exists and she's good on all 3 of her colors, means that you can't play a slow deck. You have to play a fast deck. But going back to other leads specifically, I think Rebel Sabine Wren is really good. Layla Organa on red with Rebels is really good. Han Solo on red with Rebels is really good. I think all those are very much potentially tier 1 decks in their own right, just with Rebel support. You're all playing Sabine Wren's playstyle just with a different leader, essentially. But you all have very similar damage outputs by just playing Weenie Rush Rebels on red. You're just winning. It's kind of crazy. The 3rd color almost doesn't even matter, because I even mentioned, double red Sabine Wren still does the same thing. It can still kill you even without the 3rd color. You just lose the utility, but you're relying heavily on vigilance and rallying cry to get the win. Without those 2 cards, double red wouldn't really have much to go with. That being said, I also think the other double color cards are also just not very good. As much as I hate to say it, they're not that good. The double red ones are both insanely good, better than the other double color ones. I don't think any of them even come close to the double red ones, because the double red ones can just win the game. They can seal the game or get you out of a tough spot and win the game for you. That's why I feel like the double aspect cards should do, and only the red ones do that, it seems like. I don't think the other ones really do that. So they're just a tier above the other ones. Now granted, it only benefits the red leaders, which I believe is just Sabine Wren and Cassian is just not good, so you're playing Sabine Wren. Unless you're playing it off aspect. But even a rallying cry on 5 is actually still pretty good, because the 1 green card bombing run on 5 is actually pretty good, and you'll probably get to 5 to play it. Unfortunately, it only hits units, so it's not good in the Sabine Wren matchup, because Sabine Wren isn't trying to play, a singular big bomb, she's playing a bunch of weenies that are just swinging in at you. So that card's actually bad in that matchup because you're tapping out to kill one thing, which is probably going to be like a 3/3. You're not hitting like not even a 4/4, but like a 5/5 or a 6/6 or something like that. You're just hitting a bunch of weenies. And you can't hit the base with it, which is the other thing that keeps that card from being like really good. That being said, I still want to see more of some of the other leaders. Like I want to see more optimized Boba Fett builds, more straightforward Han Solo builds, Layla builds, even a Cassian build. Sure, why not throw him in there? What I don't want to see is people trying to play, the Devastator ship or Mace Windu. He's a great unit, but he's on 7. Unless you're in green and you're ramping into him, he's not that good on 7, unfortunately. I wish he was better, but he's not because he's on 7 and Sabine Wren exists. I should say Rebel Weenie Aggro Russ exists, so Mace Windu can't be good because of that. Because I can pump out 5 guys before you get your 1 Mace Windu. And those 5 guys are probably killing you the entire time before Mace Windu can even come out. And that's why Mace Windu just can't be good, unfortunately. I feel like. And we don't have anything that's going to slow the game down currently. Obviously, the set's out. Set 2 could change that very easily, but that's still a ways away. And we're stuck with set 1 format until set 2 actually comes out. But I do feel that Weenie Aggro Rush is going to be the meta in the format. Sabine Wren may or may not be leading the charge on that. It could very well be Layla or Han or Cassian or even IG88 could potentially do that as well. I forget because he's on red. Even some combos with like the black units with Admiral Mahdi, I don't think is good enough or fast enough or consistent enough to just deal with Rebel Weenie Rush. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's fast enough. Rebels are just way too good. As much as I hate to say it, Rebels are just way too good in this game. There's so many Rebels. They're all low cost and they're all decent. And a lot of them can hit above their pay grade, which makes them even better. Or they have a little bit extra toughness so that they can survive hits and trade with other small units. And yeah, because games don't go long, it invalidates a lot of these higher cost cards that people really love and are gonna be fans of. Like I've seen a lot of people with 3 Darth Vaders in their deck. Like you are not playing 3 Darth Vaders. I'm sorry. You're gonna have one of this in your deck, and you might get to play it if you're not dead. Or close to being dead. Great card, great ability. Everyone loves Darth Vader. I get it. But him being on 7, just like with Mace Windu on 7, he's coming out way too late in the game to be a relevant threat. And this is an $80 card, $80 price tag, and it's like people are clamoring to get 3 of this for their decks, and it's just like you're not even playing 3 of this in a game. You're not gonna live that long. Like, I think once tournaments gets in full swing, people realize, like, oh, I don't have enough time to play 3 Darth Vaders, so let me get rid of these extra Darth Vaders. He'll go down in price. He'll probably drop down to around maybe $20-$30 after a couple months. But yeah, you're not resolving 3 Darth Vaders in your deck. Even with ramp, you're just not. Any deck on red that's doing Weenie Rush aggro is killing you before you probably get to the second Darth Vader. If you even get to the first one. And a lot of the builds aren't even optimized yet. Optimized by good players, experienced TCG players who just know TCGs. You don't have to know Star Wars Unlimited. They just have to be good at TCGs. They'll be able to figure this out pretty quickly and pretty easily. they'll be able to circumvent any high cost nonsense that you want to play. I'm trying to think. Like, I very much think that 7 is probably the high end for this game as of right now, unless the game slows down. Like, anything above 7, you're probably just not even playing. Not even the 8 drop, the friggin' the Wrath of God that's in blue black in this game. Like, you're not playing that. Um, you're not gonna even get a chance to play it unless you ramp into it, and it's gonna be way too late for you if you do get the chance to play it. Um, like, yeah, there's the stupid Devastator ship. I think a lot of people are still have that magic syndrome where they see the big stats, the big numbers, and they drool and salivate over it, and they want to play 3 of it. And then realize that, oh yeah, anyone who's just playing to win is gonna kill you before you get to this. Um, Big stats, big numbers. What do they call that in Magic? They call it a Timmy card. But Timmy's dying before he gets to play that card. So that card just can't be good, and that's an $8 card. That card should be like $1 because you're not playing it. You're not gonna get a chance to play it, for real. For fun play, for casual play, and Twin Suns, yeah, sure, draft limited or whatever, yeah, you'll get a chance to play it. But in actual tournament play, you're not gonna get a chance to realistically play that card. Um, and it's so crazy too, because like you would think that, oh, a Wrath of God has to be good, right? But if it's on 8 in a game that's so fast where your opponent can kill you on by 5 or 6 resources, then it's really not that good. It's actually kind of a bad card. I don't remember the name of it as I'm trying to look through the card list to find it. So I don't think TCD Player is set up to look by color at the moment. I believe it's an event. So we'll see if I can find it here. Oh, yep, there it is. Super Blast Laser. That's the name of it. Yeah, defeat all units, but it's on 8. Only $15, so that's a little bit more reasonable than friggin' Vader. Has a higher cost than Vader, and it's like a fifth of the price. But yeah, and this is a more playable card than the Vader is, because this is actually doing something like immediate. Very relevant effect, but like the game is so fast, it's like you can't even get to this realistically. And I'm not even speaking about Sabine Wren. I'm just thinking of like Rebel Weenie Rush aggro decks are going to kill you before you get a chance to play this. Most of the time. Because I didn't think just like 4 or 5 1-drops or 2-drops could do enough damage to a 30 HP base. But they actually do enough damage to kill you with a 30 HP base by turn 5, turn 6 pretty consistently, and I was surprised by how much I was winning. The games I played in the mirror match against my opponent playing Sabine Wren, the times I won was mostly I was at 8 or 9, which me being on orange, him being on green, basically meant that I had at least 2 or 3 more guys on board that were swinging and that were still alive before he was ready to kill me in the matchups in the mirror match. I wish I had a camera I could have recorded the matchups and gone back and play them. That would have been really good, but I didn't think about that at the time. Plus the game is still new, we're both still new. And it wasn't a serious tournament, it was more of a casual event, but we were playing mirror matches and we were, legitimately trying to win. And he actually had, a lot of stuff in his deck. I had stuff in my deck, but I do think the orange stuff caught him off guard. He was expecting me to be able to tap down his guys when they wanted to swing. That really hurt him. There is some rebel support in green that's really good, but I don't want to play Sabine on green, but it could turn out eventually over time that Sabine on green command is just better, or is the best version, which I can see it happening. So I still think the matchup is 50-50, but it comes down to side deck tech Main deck tech, player experience, whoever is just better in the mirror matchup, not making misplays, stuff like that. A lot of people were making misplays today that I saw. That's to be expected. That's not abnormal or anything. Play will tighten up over time as people get more familiar with the cards and learn what the cards do, as well as get more familiarity with the deck that they're playing or the deck that they want to play. Um, but trying to gauge a matchup where no one made misplays and everyone played perfectly. I still see it with Sabine Wren being 50-50. Um, I didn't have any of my other decks ready to play. I only have Vader as my other, Vader combo as my other deck, and I didn't play it today. I had a feeling someone was gonna play Sabine Wren, and I was right. So I wanted to focus on trying to play the mirror match, especially when they were playing a different color than me. And I thought, okay, this is even better for me to learn more about the game and the matchup in the mirror match by playing against her on a different color and seeing how it goes back and forth between the two. It's still a mirror match, but a different color mirror match, so that's enough of a difference to make it a significant learning experience for the matchup. Yeah, I still really like the deck. I'm probably gonna stay on Sabine Wren for the foreseeable future. I'm gonna also stick with her on Cunning Orange until like something drastic happens. So until there's like a really big tournament and like Sabine Wren on Command dominates or something like that, then maybe I'll switch. But um, it's not all about the meta, but learning what the meta and the format is still equally important moving forward. And it's better to do it early than later. As being a late adopter, you fall behind so much on the learning experiences. That's why I'm going to the two other tournaments this weekend to try to learn more and play more matchups against different people who playing different decks to see if what I'm thinking so far is going to hold true and is correct moving forward. Because yeah, there's potentially two more tournaments I'm doing this Saturday. I expect to see a lot more Sabine Wren. I expect to see Boba Fett. Probably gonna see, some other more oddball ideas. But I want to play against all of it because I want to experience all of it and learn what this deck can and can't do. Learn what the matchups are, what they're like. See if there's anything that I missed out of this set that could be a problem or a threat or a concern or something that I need to maybe even incorporate into my own deck potentially. The game is still wide open, which is what I like about it. It wasn't like Universes or One Piece where it's like, okay, this is the best deck, this is the meta, and that's basically it. Set one, there's a lot of variables right now that could change how things go moving forward. I do think Rebels and Red Weenie Rush, Aggro Rush is still just the best. It's just too good. Like I said, the fact if I can kill you that fast, it makes anything high cost just not even worth it. I don't see these high cost cards seeing play because your opponent is just going to be killing you way too quickly. People are still going to play them irregardless, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't see high drops becoming a thing in the format because if your opponent is dying so quickly, the high drops just won't even be relevant. Like even if you were playing, because Mace Windu has Sabine Wren color, so even if I was playing a Sabine Wren or Mace Windu Sabine Wren, I'm never playing it because my opponent is dying before I get a chance to play it. On that turn 7, or not turn 7, but on that 7th resource that I have to play the Mace Windu hardcast, my opponent should already be dead before the Mace Windu, not after the Mace Windu. I will say that the one game where it was close, I was at 1 life. He actually, I think he went first every single game because we rolled the dice to determine who went first. I won the die roll. I went first in the first game. He went second every game after that, and we played matches 2 out of 3. I didn't side deck any of the matches. I think he side decked a little bit, and I still won all the games. the one game where it was very close, where I was at 1 life and it wasn't like an 8 to 9 life gap, was where he had his best start and I had to start trading my guys with his so I didn't die. And I had like the lead by like 1 point of damage because I had an agitator out with I think my Sabine Wren, the unit who could do the extra damage to the base to kill him. I didn't misplay that game because I got concerned because I fell behind in damage, and we were actually neck and neck for most of the game. I was able to pull away at the very end once I started trading away my units. I won't have to do that with actual proper side decking, but as I mentioned, I didn't side deck for any of the games, so I had to trade my units unfavorably a little bit to get him to lower his damage output so I didn't die on a given turn, to let me extend my game plan by one more turn to live to actually swing at him and go for game. Because I traded all my units. He had no hand because he was playing out his hand. I'm also playing out my hand. I traded all my units with his units, so he had no units left. I think he had one space unit and Sabine Wren, who was on her front side because I already had killed her. So he was just tapping for 1 damage each turn to try to get rid of me. But I was able to drop a bunch of 1 drops and 2 drops after that because it was just like I don't play high cost cards, so it's just like I just have units, so I'm just gonna keep dropping units, and that was the game decider. A single Sentinel would have solved that entire problem, but I didn't side deck. I actually do side deck Sentinel units for the counterplay for the mirror match of Aggro Rush because I know Sentinel units will slow them down just enough to potentially get me the game win. But yeah, it was very good games, very good learning experience. Oh gosh, how long was this video? I think this video has been way too long. Yeah, 40 minutes. I talked for way too long. So I'm gonna end the video here. I gotta do more videos. I'm gonna do at least one more video come Saturday or Sunday night the next day. I'm gonna have to go over all my thoughts for Saturday, because Saturday is gonna be a very long, tiring day. I'll have a more clearer picture of the format and the meta in my head after Saturday. But I appreciate you for sticking around for this entire video. If you did, thank you. I apologize. This is just a lot of card game theory I'm going over right now. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next one.